Right now, Madison Restaurant Week is underway. Our Tanisha Shaw brings us one of the local restaurants that's participating. Also, families displaced after a fire at a Monona apartment complex. All that we know so far. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 5:30. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. The Monona Fire Department responded to a blaze at an apartment building Saturday evening. Fire crews responded to the 800 block of West Broadway for a water flow alarm. It was found to be an active fire which extended the call into a full building response. The fire fortunately was put out quickly. The cause of the fire is under investigation. No injuries or fatalities were reported. Monona Fire reported there were no occupants home at the time of the fire and one dog was rescued. Fortunately, no injuries. The apartment was deemed temporarily inhabitable with 2 occupants and their dog displaced. The damage at the time is unknown. Let's go ahead and get a look at your certified most accurate forecast with the meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, another pleasant day across southern Wisconsin.
It wasn't too bad today, and tomorrow's not going to be too bad either. But as you can see on your screens, we have an alert day for Wednesday. We're getting ready to return back that summer heat and humidity, which is why we're expecting heat index values. So what it may feel like to be in the low 100s as we head into the middle of the work week. Take a look at the estimated heat index values as we go into Wednesday afternoon. There we're looking at about 7 o'clock at night, still feeling like the low 100s. But if we take it back just a few hours to about the 4:30 time frame this upcoming Wednesday, this is what it may feel like as we head into the afternoon. It's a combination of sunny conditions, dew points in the 70s, breezy southwesterly winds. And again, those southwesterly winds, they really do help us warm on up. All of those coming together is the reason why, especially Wednesday, is going to be the hottest over the next 7 to 10 days. So enjoy the comfortable temperatures, not only for the rest of this afternoon, but overnight into Monday as well. If you're not a fan of the heat and humidity, this is going to be an especially bad and tough extended forecast to look at. So Jalen, in the full forecast, we're going to talk about how hot we will get and how long the heat and humidity stick around for. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds good, Blaze. And I am one of those people that's not necessarily looking forward to it. You can track the forecast for yourself on the First Warn Weather app. It is hourly planners, road conditions, and even radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. The reviews are in, and last night's Coldplay concert at Camp Randall is getting rave social media reviews, and I have to say, as a lifelong Coldplay fan, I'm jealous. Many posted it and said that it was one of the best concerts they've ever attended. And video shows just how impressive the performance was. I mean, look at that. Look at those LED lights, the crowd participating, you name it. The sold-out show is the second concert at Camp Randall this summer. Country star Morgan Wallen performed there back in June. University police say they only made just 2 arrests and said it was a successful evening with no major incidents. Madison police agreed, telling us that it was a positive and peaceful night. This evening, the Dane County Fair wraps up a 4-day run of family fun. From rides to magic shows to tractor rides to animal competitions, the fair offers a wide range of entertainment every single year. We spoke to fairgoers about what their favorite part of this weekend was.
Probably the Ferris wheel. It's pretty chill.
We are riding all of the kiddie rides with our son. So far, the Dumbo is his favorite. So that's kind of what we've been enjoying right now.
I actually won like 3 out of 4 games that I played. And I got 2 cat bears in that pink bang hammer over there. If you're watching, Mommy, hi.
And you guys saw just how much fun those people were having. And if you want to go out there, it's not too late. The fair runs until 11 p.m. tonight with ticket sales ending at 8:30. Old Brick Botanical Gardens hosts its annual Blooming Butterflies exhibit. The event features 19 different species of flying insects all around the Bowles Conservatory until August 10th. If you have any butterfly-related questions, Old Brick staff and volunteer experts will be on hand to answer them.
It has been so long-standing that we have a lot of volunteer docents that we rely on to provide a lot of our information throughout the exhibit, and they have become so knowledgeable about butterflies and their life cycle and how to share that with people. So we're really fortunate. It really takes dozens of volunteers to help us run this exhibit each year, and in addition we have quite a few staff. This exhibit is exciting for Old Brick because It is one of our biggest exhibits where it's all hands on deck from all staff groups.
Visitors can explore the gardens as part of a scavenger hunt that shows the connection between plants and pollinators. And while you're on your hunt, organizers say if you're lucky, you might even catch the moment a butterfly spreads its wings for the very first time. Excuse me. Madison Restaurant Week is underway right now. You have an opportunity to try out some local restaurants for a cheaper price. Our Tanisha Shaw visited the participating restaurants.
Summertime and barbecue are synonymous.
You get a half pound of brisket, our top two sides.
Beef Butter Barbecue serves barbecue throughout the year on Madison's north side. Customers filled the restaurant early Sunday afternoon, just a few hours after opening for the day. Patrick Reha is the founder of Beef Butter Barbecue and says the restaurant started as a hobby that got out of hand.
I started cooking with all these pit masters that were experts from all over the country. Cooked with them for a long time, and then I designed and built a trailer and did that out in Sun Prairie in front of Woodman's. They were nice enough to let me sell on weekends.
And now that hobby expanded from a food truck to a restaurant with catering. Reha says his barbecue is the best in town.
We opened a restaurant 7 years ago this fall, and we served over 2 million people.
Serving millions quality barbecue cost a lot of money.
Our briskets in, they're 18 pounds. By the time we're slicing and serving them to customers, they're 6 pounds. So we get a 33% yield. So our briskets cost us about $20 a pound to actually smoke.
If the menu looks a little too pricey, there is a temporary solution. Beef Butter Barbecue is participating in Madison Restaurant Week, giving customers a chance to try their lunch or dinner specials with a discount.
People like that live on the west side, they don't really come over here very often. And I'm like, listen, everything in Madison is only 20 minutes apart, you know? So in 20 minutes, you can come and get Madison's best barbecue.
Beef Butter Barbecue is one of 40 restaurants participating in Madison Restaurant Week until Friday. We have a full list on our website right now at channel3000.com. Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. One person is dead and 5 people were injured following a crash near DeForest on Sunday morning, just after midnight near mile marker 125.6 on I-3990. Several agencies responded to a crash. An initial investigation showed an SUV suspected of traveling in the wrong direction southbound struck another vehicle traveling north. The SUV was fully engulfed in flames, and the passenger of the northbound vehicle was pronounced dead at the scene. Both drivers were taken to the hospital with injuries. As a result of the investigation, the driver of the SUV was arrested for operating while impaired. Coming up next on News 3 Now, today marks the 6-month mark in President Trump's second term. A look at his performance so far. Plus, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, reaches a multi-billion-dollar settlement over private data sharing. Thank you for staying with us. Raging wildfires and severe storms in the U.S. are driving up global insurance losses. Those losses have totaled an estimated $84 billion for the first 6 months of the year, according to a report from reinsurance broker Gallagher Re. Wildfires that raged across Southern California in January accounted for $40 billion of the total. Meanwhile, severe storms that created damaging tornadoes, winds, and hail, many in the Midwest and South, accounted for at least $33 billion in losses. The report said it's been the costliest first 6 months of the year since 2011, and insurance losses are expected to surpass $100 billion for the entire year. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg and other executives have settled with shareholders who accused them of failing to stop third parties from accessing Facebook user data without consent. A group of company shareholders alleged the board didn't enforce proper safeguards before the 2018 Cambridge Analytica breach. The shareholders had requested $8 billion in damages, but the trial ended abruptly on its second day after sides reached a deal on the Delaware court. Terms of the settlement haven't been released, but it means top Meta leaders, including Zuckerberg, won't have to take the stand. It's been 6 months since President Trump sworn for his second term. He used the occasion to take to social media to call the U.S. the hottest nation in the world and to lobby the Washington Commanders to change their name. CBS News' Willie James Inman has more.
President Trump was active on social media on Sunday, the 6-month anniversary of his current term in office. The president referred to the United States as the hottest and most respected country anywhere in the world and called his presidency one of the most consequential periods of any president. Also on social media on Sunday, the president called for the Washington Commanders football team to change their name back to the Redskins, a term that has been criticized as racist by Native American groups. And in another post on Truth Social, President Trump claimed his poll numbers have risen since the Jeffrey Epstein hoax was exposed by the radical left Democrats. The post comes as the president faces growing pressure from lawmakers and many of his supporters to put forth information about Epstein, something he had promised to do during his campaign. Late Friday, the president sued Rupert Murdoch and the Wall Street Journal for at least $20 billion following the publishing of an article in the journal last week linking the president to Jeffrey Epstein. The story published Thursday contained alleged details of a risque birthday letter the president allegedly sent to Jeffrey Epstein in the early 2000s. The paper claims the note was signed by Trump and includes a sketch of a naked woman. The president insists he never wrote the note. In other political news Sunday, ICE Acting Director Todd Lyons appeared on Face the Nation to speak about the administration's ongoing immigration crackdown.
If your agents encounter anyone who is here illegally, irrespective of whether or not they have a criminal record, that person will be taken into custody.
If they're here in the United States illegally, yes, they will.
Those are called collateral arrests.
Correct.
Earlier this month, Congress approved legislation that more than tripled ICE's budget. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
And coming up next, Blaze returns with a complete look of your First One forecast. Blaze Keller joins us now with a complete look of your First One forecast. Blaze, what should we expect as we head into the work week?
We're going to be dealing with a little bit of haze to start off our next work week. That clears out, though, by Monday. So overnight tonight into Monday, we're going to be dealing with a little bit of smoke overhead. Thankfully, it looks like our air quality on Monday is going to stay about moderate. We're not super warm. Our winds are not out of the south yet, so we're not necessarily sitting underneath a lot of stagnant air. The rest of the week is going to be a little bit more hot and certainly more humid. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment. But there is a look at that smoke moving in from the north and east as we go through the early morning hours on Monday. That's likely when the thickest smoke is going to be overhead. But as we go throughout Monday, our winds are going to steadily turn from the east to the south, and that's going to help not only warm us up into Tuesday and then keep us there in those hot temperatures all throughout our upcoming work week, but they're also going to clear out the smoke as we go overnight into Tuesday. We're not seeing as much green on the map, certainly no yellows and reds by the time we go into Tuesday morning. We'll start to see more blue skies as we go into the rest of the work week, but it is going to be on the hot and humid side. So again, air quality tomorrow is looking pretty moderate. Obviously, if that were to change, we'll pass that along to you folks at home. Mid to upper 70s to low 80s. Some of us might not even get into the low 80s tomorrow, right around where we should be for this time of year. Get outside and enjoy the seasonal, comfortable air tomorrow, because if you're not a fan of the heat or the humidity, it is going to be a tough week to be outdoors, as I mentioned earlier this week, or earlier in the newscast. We are going to add back rain chances too, but because of how hot we will be during the daytime hours, we likely won't see that rain until overnight, not only Monday night, Tuesday night, but likely Wednesday night into Thursday. Thursday is our first chance during the daytime hours that we start to see some shower and thunderstorm activity return back to parts of southern Wisconsin. So what's going to be happening here is we're entering underneath the ridge of the jet stream. We're entering into a ring of fire pattern. As we go over the next 6 to 10 days, that ring of fire, the jet stream, is over parts of not only the plains, but Wisconsin as well. But if we extend out our precipitation outlook to 8 to 14 days, we see that green start to move further to the north. So what I think is going to happen is we're going to be sitting underneath this ring of fire setup, this blocking high pressure system to our south, probably for the next week to week and a half. And that means that the jet stream will start off overhead, and then as we go into those final days of July into August, that jet stream gets further into Canada. We lose the rain chance, but we keep the heat and humidity as we go into the end of July. And very quickly here, again, for folks who maybe didn't see it at the top of the hour, we are looking at very dangerous heat index values for specifically Wednesday. That's when our heat index will get into the low 100s. So please make sure that throughout this week you are not only staying cool and hydrated during the daytime hours, nighttime hours as well, and of course, that goes for your pets too, because we are in the upper 80s to low 90s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, possibly into that following weekend. We don't really get a huge break. And as I said, Jalen, I think we're going to be sitting underneath this ring of fire pattern, the heat and humidity, probably for the next, I would say, week to week and a half for sure, possibly 2 weeks. This is not a death. Sometimes we call them death highs, where because when they set up to the south, they feed off of the heat. So as long as it stays hot to our south, those high pressure systems, they just get stronger and stronger.
So this is what Johnny Cash wrote about, was this weather pattern.
It's either this or the volcanoes around the Pacific. I don't know.
One of the two.
One of the two, maybe both, or maybe something completely different that we don't know about.
The world may never know.
The world, well, somebody probably knows, but we might not know.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. Still to come on News 3 Now at 5:30, NHL All-Star Joe Pavelski shares his thoughts on the new stadium for the Janesville Jets. Hockey lovers rejoice. The Janesville Jets are set to get a new stadium. And this weekend is the last time they'll be able to play in their current ice arena before moving into Woodman Sports Convention Center next season. Here's Badger legend and former NHL All-Star Joe Pavelski on the new home.
It's one of the biggest deals going on in Janesville right now. And I think we're all so excited for it and so excited for the city. And that's where the passion of Bill McCoshen comes out and what he's kind of been able to do with leading the way with the Janesville Jets, bringing this team there, you know, getting me on board and being excited about it.
To the British Open now, and Scottie Scheffler is looking to keep his hot streak going. On hole 18, Scottie Scheffler walks up looking to birdie, but he would have to settle for a par, but it didn't matter because Scottie goes on to win the British Open. Scottie finished today shooting at 68 on 17 under, 5 shots in front. Scheffler is the 9th player to win the Open and the Masters and the PGA Championship. He exactly ties Tiger Woods. 1,197 days from the first major to the 4th major. It took Scheffler 1,019 days from his.
Still think they're a bit silly. You know, Tiger won, what, 15 majors? It's my 4th. Just got 1/4 of the way there. So just, I mean, I think Tiger stands alone in the game of golf. You know, he was inspirational for me growing up, and he was a very, very talented guy, and he was a special person to be able to be as good as he was at the game of golf.
The Brewers got their 9th straight win last night against the Dodgers and are looking to get their 10th this afternoon. Right now, the score is 6-4 at the bottom of the 9th inning. Brewers leading the Dodgers. We'll have the highlights tonight at 10. You can almost feel it in the air. Football season is just around the corner, and the Packers will be taking the field in no time. And fret not, we've got you covered leading up to the season. This Wednesday, our Andrew Banstra and Jason Wilde will be live at Packers training camp. They'll bring you in-depth interviews with Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, as well as some of your favorite players, so you don't want to miss it. Stay with us. Blaze returns with the final check of your first warn forecast when we return. So, Blaze, earlier in the show, we had talked about the Coldplay concert and some of those rave reviews coming in.
Oh yeah,
You yourself.
One of them was probably for me.
So you were there.
It
Tell
was
us about
great. You know, I haven't gone to a lot of concerts in my life, but had to go to Coldplay because how often, which we've reported on, do artists come to Camp Randall? Not very often, as we know, especially Coldplay. And I've loved some of their music, you know, from the Viva La Vida era, Milo Exodo.
Yeah.
Anyways, all that to say, 10 out of 10 show, 11 out of 10.
I'm so happy
Loved it.
for you because that's my favorite band. I have one piece of artwork in my home, and it's related to Coldplay. So.
And I brought him a little bit of confetti back from the concert. All right, a quick look at that 10-day, if we can throw it up quickly. Prepare for the heat and humidity. It arrives starting Tuesday.